Have you ever looked around and realized you're the last one left? That happened to me not long ago. I was sitting in my old recliner, flipping through a photo album from the 60s. Faces I loved, laughed with, grew old beside. One by one, they faded. And now, at 90 years old, I'm still here. Still walking, still thinking, still driving, while my friends are long gone. People ask me all the time, "How are you still so healthy? What's your secret?" They expect to hear about miracle supplements, perfect genes, or some new anti-aging hack. But the truth is much simpler. It comes down to 5 daily habits. That's it. I didn't plan on outliving everyone. I just tried to live right. And those little choices, repeated every single day, added up. They built a life I could keep living, even when others couldn't. So in this video, I want to share those 5 habits with you. Because it's never too late to start. And if you're over 60, wondering what really makes a difference, this might be exactly what you need. Let's begin with the first habit that, though it sounds simple, quite literally saved my life. Every morning when I wake up, I do something that seems silly to most people. I make sure I can stand up from my bed or chair without using my hands. No pushing off the armrest, no leaning on the nightstand, just legs, core, and balance. Why? Because this tiny act tells me more about my health than any doctor visit. You see, I read a study years ago that said if a senior can't rise from a low seat without support, they're at much higher risk of death in the next 6 years. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I realized that if I couldn't get up on my own, I might be heading toward a wheelchair. Or worse. So I made a quiet decision. I'd work on it. Every single day. At first, it was hard. I'd wobble, grunt, even fall back into the chair once or twice. But I kept at it. I started doing gentle squats while brushing my teeth. I practiced standing on one leg while waiting for the microwave to finish. I walked upstairs slowly, using the railing only when I truly needed it. And you know what? My legs got stronger. My knees stopped aching. I stopped fearing the day I might not be able to get off the toilet by myself. I had a friend, Pete, who used to laugh at me for doing what he called old man yoga. He'd say, "What's the point? We're all breaking down anyway." Pete was 82, sharp as a tack, but he didn't move much. A few months later, he slipped in the bathroom and couldn't get back up. He never walked again. That stuck with me. What most people don't realize is that we don't fall because we're old. We fall because we stop using the muscles that keep us upright. Once your legs weaken, everything else goes with them. Your balance, your confidence, your independence. So now, even at 90, I still do my daily leg check. No matter how tired I am, I always test myself. Can I rise without help? It takes less than 10 seconds. But it reminds me I'm still strong, still in control, still here. And if you're watching this thinking, "I can't do that anymore," don't worry. You can work up to it. Start slow, but start. Because the longer you wait to rebuild strength, the harder it is to get it back. And believe me, you want to keep your legs strong for as long as you plan to live. People always talk about staying physically active after 70. But what about mental activity? I've met plenty of folks with strong legs who still lose their independence because their mind starts slipping away before their body does. That's why, for the past 25 years, I've made it a habit to challenge my brain. Every single day. But not with crossword puzzles or fancy brain games, no apps, no subscriptions, just simple, deliberate thinking. For me, it starts when I get behind the wheel. I never use GPS. Instead, I memorize the route. I picture it in my mind before leaving the driveway, and I replay the trip afterward to check how close I got. Sometimes I get lost. That's the fun part. It forces me to adapt, to recalculate, to stay sharp. When I read the newspaper, I don't just skim. I pick one story, then talk back to it in my head. I ask, do I agree with this? What's missing here? Some mornings, I even pretend I'm on a debate team again, arguing the article out loud to no one but my coffee cup. It may sound odd, but keeping my brain active has given me something no pill ever could: clarity. I had a neighbor, Walt, same age as me, smart guy, retired engineer. But after he stopped working, he stopped thinking too. Sat in front of the TV most days, dozed off by dinner. A few years ago, his daughter called me in tears. He couldn't remember her birthday. Couldn't even remember how to work the microwave. The truth is, your brain is just like your muscles. If you don't use it, it weakens. Not all at once, quietly, subtly. Until one day, you're sitting in a room full of memories, and none of them feel like yours anymore. So now, every day, I make sure I wrestle with a thought. I solve a problem. I remember a name without asking. I write a letter with a pen, not a keyboard. It's not about being a genius. It's about staying present, alert, involved. Because I don't want to just live long, I want to live aware. And a sharp mind? That's the key to making your final years feel fully yours. I can't tell you how many people I've lost over the years. Friends I grew up with, served with, worked alongside. Most of them are gone now, some quietly, some suddenly. And after a while, the silence around you starts to feel heavier than the grief itself. That's when I made a decision. I would never let a day go by without reaching out to someone. So, I started calling one old friend every day. Just one. No long speeches. No dramatic check-ins. Just, hey, I was thinking about you. How are you holding up? Sometimes the conversation is 2 minutes. Sometimes it lasts an hour. Sometimes we just laugh about something from 1952 that no one else would understand. But every single time, I hang up feeling like I added a little weight to the world again. Like I mattered. It's easy to feel invisible when you get old. Your kids get busy. Neighbors move away. You stop going out as much. Before you know it, the phone doesn't ring unless it's a doctor's office or a pharmacy. That kind of loneliness doesn't just make you sad. It wears down your body. Studies show that social isolation can raise the risk of dementia, heart disease, even early death. But I didn't need a study to tell me that. I could feel it in my chest. The tightness, the fog, the weight of silence. Then I remembered something my father used to say. Stay in people's lives, or they'll forget you're in it. That sounds harsh, but he was right. So now, even if my hands are stiff, I dial. Even if I haven't spoken to them in years, I try. I've reconnected with war buddies, old co-workers, even an ex-girlfriend or two. And you know what? Sometimes they need the call more than I do. Human connection is the medicine nobody writes prescriptions for. But it's the one we all need. So if you're watching this, wondering what you can do to feel a little more alive, don't wait. Pick up the phone. Someone out there still remembers you. And maybe, just maybe, they're hoping you remember them too. Here's something most people get wrong after 70. They start eating less like someone who wants to live, and more like someone who's already fading away. They skip breakfast. They nibble on crackers for dinner. They drink coffee all day and forget water even exists. And slowly, without noticing, they shrink. I've seen it happen over and over. I had a friend, Bill, strong guy, sharp mind, but once he turned 80, he said things like, "I'm not really hungry anymore," or "Cooking's too much trouble." Within a year, he lost 20 pounds, not from dieting, from disappearing. When I saw him last, he needed help getting out of a chair. His doctor said, "You've got sarcopenia. That's just a fancy word for your muscles packing up and leaving." But it wasn't fate. It was habit. That scared me. So I made a rule. I eat like someone who still plans to hike next month. That means protein in every meal. I eat eggs, chicken, Greek yogurt, or sometimes salmon. It means real vegetables, steamed, sautéed, or roasted, not just a sad lettuce leaf. I keep a small bowl of almonds on my counter. I drink water with every meal. And yes, I still enjoy dessert, just not every night, and not as a replacement for real food. And here's the surprise. When I started eating better, everything got better. My sleep improved. My balance got steadier. I stopped getting those afternoon energy crashes. I could walk farther. I felt alive again. It's not about dieting. I hate that word. It's about fueling your engine. Because at this age, your tank is smaller. You have to fill it with quality, or you run out of gas. If you've lost your appetite, don't ignore it. That's your body waving a red flag. Try smaller meals, more often. Add spices. Eat with music on. Sit outside in the sun. Make it enjoyable again. Because the truth is, you can't live strong on toast and coffee alone. Eat like you're still in your 60s. Because the way you treat your plate today, it shows up in your steps tomorrow. Out of all the habits I've kept over the years, this one might be the most important. And yet, it's the one most people overlook. Every single day, I sit in complete silence for at least 10 minutes. No TV, no phone, no radio. Just me, my breath, and the soft ticking of a clock. You might wonder what good that does. At first, I didn't know either, but I started doing it after my wife passed away. Grief has a way of swallowing you whole. The noise in my head was louder than any highway I'd ever driven on. I couldn't sleep, couldn't think, couldn't even remember where I put the keys. Then one morning, I just sat down. Didn't try to fix anything. Didn't try to distract myself. I just sat still and listened to the hum of the world, to the ache in my chest, to my own breathing. And something shifted. Over time, that stillness became my anchor. It helped me process pain, calm my racing thoughts, and feel connected to something larger than the clutter of the day. It made me present again. When you're 90, you've got a lot of ghosts, people you loved, places you miss, things you wish you'd said. If you don't make space to feel those things, they'll come for you anyway, at 3 a.m., when your chest tightens and you think it's your heart. But it's not. It's your soul, begging for stillness. So I give it that space, every day. I sit in my backyard, feel the sun on my face, and breathe deep. I name the trees, I count birds, I whisper thank yous to the sky. And in those quiet moments, I remember why I want to keep living, not just surviving, but really living. If you've been carrying around too much noise, too many regrets, too much worry about tomorrow, try this. 10 minutes. No judgment. No agenda. Just you, breathing. Because in the silence, you'll find something stronger than medicine. You'll find peace. And at our age, peace isn't a luxury. It's survival. If you've stayed with me this far, I want to say this. None of the 5 habits I shared are flashy. You won't see them in a commercial or sold in a bottle. But they work. Getting up without your hands, using your brain on purpose, calling a friend, eating like you still plan to live another 20 years, and sitting quietly to breathe. These are the things that kept me standing when others fell. They're why I'm 90 and still behind the wheel. Why I can still tie my shoes, cook my own breakfast, and remember the punchlines to old jokes. I didn't set out to live longer than my friends, but these habits gave me something deeper than years. They gave me quality in the years I have. Maybe you're thinking, it's too late for me. Let me be the one to tell you. It's not. You can start today. Even if all you do is pick one habit and stick with it, you've already taken control of your health story. You don't have to chase youth. Just fight for your presence. Because being here, really here, is the greatest victory of all. Thanks so much for being here with us today. We'd really love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you took away from this video and how you're planning to use it in your life. Your thoughts truly matter to us, and reading your comments gives us the energy to keep going. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who might need it.